So you guys in basketball enthusiasts like, this is the only land, and we are back with another performance review. Before I get into that, make sure you like button, subscribe, if you'd like to see before or you'd like to see today. And from that, let's just jump right into these. These are obviously the Harden Volume 8s. Let me actually just remove this. Remove the box. Give me a little bit more space here. And we can go straight into the traction. For the traction, you have what they call a, it's like a storytelling traction. It's JH. So if you zoom in, and I have guide images for that, when I unbox them, I can actually show you guys more images for these. There is the J, it's literally a J and H running all up and down the outsole, and then on the little edges here you have herringbone, and then for the two spots here on the forefoot you have radial traction, right? So you have a couple different things going on here. When it came to traction, it actually wasn't bad. I will say the first time that I did test them, and I think it was the court, it was a lot of slippage on these. I was confused as to why. I couldn't understand, because I did expect a lot. I don't know why. I just had an expectation for them to have very good traction. I guess maybe that's just like a Harden thing. I always think about the player first and like what their needs are on the court, and a lot of them do need, like, a lot of the people who have performance, who have a signature sneaker, they require like really good traction. They're not like usually big men who, I would say for the most part, don't require like a lot of traction, because they're not doing a lot of cutting or shifty moves like that. But when you talk about Harden, one of his main things is step backs and shifty moves, like to shift you out of the way. Obviously he's not the same Harden as talk about Houston Harden or OKC Harden, but he still is James Harden, so he still does need that type of lateral movement. And it was just weird to me that it was very slippery. But after a while, I feel like when I tested them on other courts, I did get more of a, okay, this is a solid traction here. It's not something amazing. I will say, because of that slippage, I wouldn't put it in like the, I've been giving a lot of 7s out recently. I'd probably give it like a 6.5, 6, because you're gonna have times where it's just not gonna perform well. You can get times where it is gonna perform well, and that kind of inconsistency does drop the score a little bit. So that is my opinion on the traction. Moving on up, we can go into cushioning. For cushioning, they actually moved on from the, it is a full length jet boost, and they moved on from the light strike. So with the Harden Volume 7, which you can see the performance review right here, with the Harden Volume 7, you did have that combination, right? You had a combination of light strike and the jet boost. With this, they moved on, and it's just a full length jet boost. Something that you can actually see there. You can see the little puck in the back, very soft. There's to be honest, not really much that can compare to Boost. Boost is, if you were around when Boost first dropped, then you know the hysteria. People love Boost, the Adidas Ultra Boost, any sneaker that had Boost, people were just obsessed with. You had the Yeezys or the Kanye, yeah, the Yeezys, the NMDs, anything that had Boost, people were just absolutely obsessed with. It is just a very unique type of cushioning, and it's hard to compare it to other foams. There are other foams that are pretty good, but this one is probably like 1 or 2 to most people. To me, they've been doing great with the Jet Boost. The Ultra Boost weren't that comfortable to me, but the Jet Boost has been amazing. I really did enjoy the cushioning. And then moving on up, we talk about the material. The material on these is a little strange, right? What Harden has been trying to do, or what Adidas has been trying to do for the most part for the last couple models, is they've been trying to get a combination of it's like the holy grail that everyone, I feel like, has been trying to do for like the last few years, is try to get a sneaker that combines really good performance and you can wear it casually. That has been like something that everyone has been trying to do, and it's difficult to do, and I feel like they did a fairly good job on that. But for this, you have EVA is the material that you have running all the way around, outside, or holding the little booty that you have, and it's very similar to what they had in the Harden Volume 7s. If you've seen the 7s, the 7s have that booty on the inside as well, but what they have is like a kind of like a knit material or textile material, depending on the color that you had on the outside, as opposed to this EVA, which is a cushioning, right? EVA is like a foam. It's a very dense type foam. So what they say about the material is it includes a conforming internal cuff for a dynamic fit and comfort on and off the court, as well as a teardrop EVA cage that gives the wearer lateral support for agile movements. So that is pretty much the whole, it encompasses the whole thing, right? You got the booty, you got the EVA teardrop thing here. You could, I guess this is where they get the teardrop, right? The little teardrop there. And then you have like this little leather patch on the toe box. It's not, or the toe cap, whatever you want to call it. That's not really, it's not for performance. I guess it's just for like the visual aspect. It doesn't really, that's like a high wear. For some people, that's like a high wear area, right? It didn't do anything for me. I didn't feel it, so it wasn't really a big deal. But the material is really great on these. It is really great on these. What I will say is that when it came to performance, I was coming off of like an injury from a previous, I won't say the model, from a previous model. I ended up getting hurt wear testing those, and it was a little bit difficult for me, I feel like, to get like the best out of the sneaker. I feel like it is actually a pretty solid performer. What I will say is that when you talk about the progression of the models, right, that you did have a better traction on these 7s, right? And I hate when you go from one traction to the next and then you slip off. That's, for me, that's like the worst. That's like a kill. For me, that's like a killer to me. But that is what ended up happening with these. And then last but not least, lockdown. Lockdown was solid. Lockdown was very solid on these. You're not going to get much breathability on these. I will actually admit that you get more breathability on these than you did in the 7s. If you guys watched that performance review, there wasn't very many areas, right? You have like a sneaker that's all wrapped up here, and then you just have what can come out through this booty, which is not going to be much. And what they ended up doing is that they did have this slit here in the EVA where you should be able to get a little bit more breathability, but quite frankly, it's not much. So there is progression in the line as to they're adding that breathability, but it's not much, to be quite frank with you. So that is it on these. Thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor, like button, subscribe if you like what you saw today or you like what you've seen before. But this is the only thing I'm out of here. You guys have a good one.